Good morning, students. Today we are going to start The Necklace, written by Guy de Maupassant. Now, about the writer Guy de Maupassant, he is a French writer and he is very famous for his short stories. Although he has written many novels, but he is specially famous for his short stories because his short stories always have a twist ending, very unusual ending, a surprise ending, which we will get to know in this particular short story also. From The Necklace, we'll see that The Necklace, this story has a very surprise ending for us. Okay, we will come across two main characters here in this story. One is Matilda, okay, Matilda Loisel, and her husband, Mr. Loisel. Now, Matilda is a very poor but a very beautiful young girl, and she is married to Mr. Loisel, who is a very simple clerk. The main themes of this story are greed, deceptive appearance, beauty, and vanity. Okay, the story will revolve around these main themes. These are greed, deceptive appearances, that means you may appear to be something but there is something else inside you. It talks about beauty, false beauty you can say, and also about vanity, or you can say pride. Okay, see, Matilda, who is a poor but a very beautiful girl, and she is married now to a simple clerk, is always unhappy. Why she is unhappy? Because she always wanted for her a life full of luxury, which her simple clerical husband could not afford for her. So in that condition she always remained sad. Okay, so there is some kind of, Matilda had an overwhelming desire to live a life of luxury, and that actually blinds her to the comforts that she already has. See, her husband might be a very simple going person, a simple man, not very rich, but he was a very caring and an understanding husband. But Matilda's desire for luxury blinds her, and so she fails to see the comforts which she already possesses in her life. And this eventually leads to her losing whatever she had in her life. Okay, there we will find an internal conflict, okay, in this story. And what is that conflict? The conflict lies in the fact that Madame Loisel is always embarrassed by her poverty. She is not happy, she is not contented with her present situation. Even though she is physically beautiful and married to an understanding husband, she believes that the key of her happiness lies in expensive dresses, necklaces, ball parties, and and the luxuries of life. And this eventually will ruin his life. We will see that this is going to destroy his life. Now here, when we look at the title, the necklace here acts as a symbol. Okay, the necklace here symbolizes, see, we will come across two main literary devices which will run throughout this story. One is symbolism and the other one is irony. Okay, this has been used, these two have been used very generously by the writer in this story throughout. Now here the necklace symbolizes what? It symbolizes the wealth and status that Matilda longs for, she desires for, okay, but cannot attain. I mean, it is everything that Matilda wants but does not have. The necklace, okay, now the necklace symbolizes not simply a mere necklace, but it is all the wealth and luxury, okay, and the status that Matilda wants to enjoy, but she cannot attain that. Okay, and there is also an irony in this story. Okay, the most prevalent irony that is there in the story is the fact that, Matilda, we will come across in this story that Matilda is going to pay very heavily for a very big blunder that she has committed. Okay, I'm not going to disclose the story right here. Okay, and we will try to discover the irony as we proceed with the story, because I don't want to tell you the story right now. Okay, so let us proceed with it. Okay, students, I think this much is clear to you. We have discussed about the theme, we have discussed about the title, okay, and we have also discussed about the conflict that is there in the story. The internal conflict is what? It is about, Madame Loisel's present state, okay, and in which she feels very embarrassed. She is not happy, she is not contented. She is not satisfied with her present state, okay, and she is longing for something else, okay, and that is the conflict, that is the contrast that we will come across in this entire story. Okay, now let us proceed with the story. Okay, she was one of those pretty young ladies born as if through an error of destiny into a family of clerks. Now the first lines line itself tells us that she was a very beautiful girl, okay, a young girl, but as if there was some mistake with her destiny, and so she was born into a family of clerks. Okay, she was born in a poor family. She had no dowry. Dowry, we all know, some kind of some amount or property that is given to a daughter when she is married off. Okay, now she had no dowry because she belonged to a very poor family, and so since she belonged to a poor family, she had no hopes, no means of becoming known. She had no means by which she could become famous, she could become popular, because that is something that she wanted, she really wanted, that she wanted to be popular because she was beautiful, she wanted to be rich. Okay, so there was no other means for him to become popular, to be loved, and to be married to a person who would be rich and very distinguished, okay, of high status. And she allowed herself to marry a petty clerk in the office of the Board of Education. So she was eventually married to a simple clerk who worked in the office of the Board of Education. She was simple, but she was unhappy. Okay, she was simple and she was unhappy. She was unhappy because she was living a life which she didn't want to live. She wanted to live a luxurious life, isn't it? But she was she was compelling herself to live a simple life, and so she was unhappy. She suffered incessantly. Please, students, you also mark the meanings as we proceed. Incessantly means continuously. She suffered incessantly or continuously. Why? Feeling herself born for all delicacies and luxuries, because she had the pride of the fact that she was very beautiful and that she was born for all the beautiful things in life, for all the luxuries in life. Okay, so her definition of the beautiful things in life was quite different, because she associated that beauty with what? The beauty of life with what? The delicacies and luxuries of life. She thought that the beauty of life lies in the delicacies and luxuries of life. Okay, now she suffered from the poverty of her apartment. Okay, now why she was unhappy? Because when she was married to this clerk, Mr. Loisel, and she was shifted to an apartment, and she found that her surrounding, okay, did not complement her beauty, did not complement her the kind of woman she was supposed to be. She suffered inside from the poverty of her apartment, the shabby walls and the worn chairs. Okay, everything looked so incongruous. Okay, not matching with her physical beauty. All these things tortured and angered her, and so when she looked around and she saw all the ordinariness around her, she felt very sad about that. When she seated herself for dinner opposite her husband, who uncovered the tureen with a delighted air, saying, "Oh, the good pot pie! I know nothing better than that," she would think of elegant dinners of shining silver. She thought of the exquisite food served in marvelous dishes. She had neither frocks nor jewels, nothing. And she loved only those things. Okay, now here you can see, student, this is the paragraph where we are introduced to the husband. Okay, and we can see here from this line that the husband was very caring, isn't it? Caring for the fact that she was a simple man, but he ensured that he always had his dinner with his wife. That means he was there to give her time, isn't it? To give her affection. So he would be there. He was also very caring and loving. You can see that the husband, he is the one who would uncover the tureen. Tureen, that utensil, you can say, a deep kind of a plate, okay, from where soups are served. So he is the one who is going to uncover the tureen, okay, that bowl or the plate, whatever, from where the food will be served with a delighted air. I mean, very happily, okay. "Oh, the good pot pie!" And he would exclaim. He would say, with much happiness, that, "Oh, you have prepared such nice pot pie." Pot pie is kind of a pie, okay, special kind of a pie prepared in a pot, okay. "I know nothing better than that." Okay, and her husband would be so satisfied, so contented. So you can see here two contrasting characters, isn't it? The husband who is very happy with all the simplicity which is there around him. Okay, in contrast to the wife who is always complaining and nagging. Okay, so he would be very happy and contented with whatever he had, whatever food he had on the table. But she, now here in contrast, we will find that she would think of elegant dinners when her husband would be, praising her for the presentation, for the food that she had prepared with so much of love. She would be, in contrast, thinking of elegant dinners of shining silver. She would be thinking of, shining silver plates and some fine dining tables and some nice, exquisite, dinners and all. She thought of the exquisite, fine, very tasty food served in, exquisite means very special kind of thing, okay, very extremely beautiful, okay. So she would think of those exquisite food served in marvelous dishes, wonderful dishes, okay, beautiful dishes, okay. She had neither frocks nor jewels, nothing, and she loved only those things. So when her husband was there to appreciate all the efforts that she had made to prepare that dish and to present it before him, okay, and when he wanted to appreciate her, she would not take that appreciation. Rather, she would think and complain about the fact that she didn't have, she didn't get opportunity to have elegant dinners, and she didn't have exquisite food served in marvelous dishes. She didn't have frocks or jewels, nothing. So she always thought that she had nothing. She got nothing in life, okay. She had a rich friend, a schoolmate at the convent, who she did not like to visit. Now, there was a rich friend, a schoolmate, okay, of Madame Loisel, and she never wanted to visit her. Why she never wanted to visit her friend? Because she suffered so much when she returned. So once after visiting the friend, when she came back home, she suffered a lot. Now why she would suffer a lot? Because she always tried to compare herself with that friend, because her friend was married to a rich man, okay, and she was living a life of luxury. So she would always try to compare herself with her friend, and so she suffered much when she returned. She wept. Wept is the past tense of weep. She would cry for whole days from despair and disappointment. She would be, despair, very sad and very disappointed after meeting her friend. Why? Because her friend was rich and she was living a luxurious life. One evening, her husband returned elated. Elated means happy, being happy, okay. One evening, her husband returned happily, bearing in his hand, carrying in his hand a large envelope, okay. But here we can see, all the time we can see, in contrast to her husband is someone who is trying his best to make his wife happy, okay. But this lady, Madame Loisel or Matilda, is always overlooking whatever efforts her husband is putting in to make her happy, okay. She's covered by a sense of illusion, you can say. She is living in an illusionary world, okay, illusionary world, make-believe world, okay, an artificial world, you can say. So what happened, one evening her husband comes back home with an envelope in his hand, and he's very happy, very elated. Here, he said, here is something for you. She quickly drew out a printed card on which were inscribed these words. Okay, now what happened? She quickly took out that, that printed card. And she was quite excited to take out the card, because she was thinking in terms of money properly. I mean, she might have thought that, there is some kind of, wealth or something related to money in that card. But instead of that, it was found to be an invitation. And the invitation came from the Minister of Public Instruction, and Madame George Romperneau asked the honor of M and MMM. See, now M is here the shortened form of Monsieur, okay. In France, here, like we use Mr. Shri, okay. In France, French people, they use Monsieur, and the shortened form of Monsieur is M, okay, and Madame, MMM is Madame Loisel's company. So it is a kind of an address to someone, okay, addressing someone. So ask the honor of M and Mr. Monsieur and Madame Loisel's company, Monday evening, January 18, at the minister's residence. So it was a kind of an invitation. It was an invitation card. Now let us see how she reacts. Instead of being delighted, as her husband had hoped, she threw the invitation spitefully upon the table, murmuring, "What do you suppose I want with that?" But she was not happy. Do you think she was happy? No. Her husband thought that she would be delighted to get this invitation, okay, because she wanted to take her out, okay, she wanted to give her happiness, in whatever ways, in whatever possible ways he could do. But then she just spitefully, in a, with much hatred, she threw the invitation upon the table, and she kept on murmuring. Okay, she was murmuring that, what do you expect me to do with this invitation card? You expect that I would be going for this ball party? But my dearie, I thought it would make you happy. Now the husband is trying to tell his wife that, I thought that you would be happy to get this invitation. You never go out, and this is an occasion, and a fine one. So I thought that you will be happy to go out, because you hardly go out, and this is a good occasion and also a nice party. Everybody wishes one, and it is very select, because I'm very lucky to get this invitation, because everybody wants to join this party, but I was selected for this. Okay, not many are given to employees. You will see the whole official world there. Okay, so please come, please let us join this party, because this is a kind of a golden opportunity for both of us to join that party, because it is a very big party, and I think we should join it. She looked at him with an irritated eye and declared impatiently, what do you suppose I have to wear to such a thing as that? So now, she is complaining, okay, she is nagging, and with much irritation, what did she say? With her irritated eyes, she said that, what do you want? What am I supposed to wear in that party? Do I have any nice dress to go to such an occasion? He had not thought of that, he stammered. But this man, this simple-hearted man, he never thought of that dress was also something very important for a lady. So he stammered. Stammered means, stammered matlab ruk ke bolna. He stammered. Why he stammered? Because now he knew the reason why his wife was unhappy. Why? The dress you wear when we go to the theatre? You have a nice dress that you wear when we go to the theatre. You can wear it because you look so pretty, so beautiful in that dress. It seems very pretty to me. And then he was silent, stupefied. Okay? Now, stupefied means, to make someone unable to think or feel properly. Now, he's stupefied. He became blank, you can say. Okay? So, he was stupefied. Okay? In dismay, in sadness, you can say. In dismay means what? In utter sadness. Okay, at the sight of his wife weeping, because his wife had started weeping, and he was silent. He was stupefied. He didn't know how to react. Okay, he was sad to see his wife weeping, crying. He stammered. Once again, he started to convince her. What is the matter? What is the matter? By a violent effort, she had controlled her vexation and responded in a calm voice, wiping her moist cheeks. Nothing. Only I have no dress, and consequently I cannot go to this affair. Give your card to some colleague whose wife is better fitted out than I. So somehow, with much effort, violent means with rigorous effort, with much effort, she controlled her anger. Vexation means her anger, and responded, okay, to her husband in a calm voice. She somehow tried to manage and control her anger, and she wiped her moist cheeks. Moist why? Because she was crying. She said, nothing, only I have no dress, and consequently, and because of that I cannot go to this party. Please give your card to someone else, some other colleague whose wife is better fitted out than I, because I don't fit into that party. Okay, I will feel out of place into that party because I don't have anything to wear, no jewelry, no clothes. So you better give it to some other colleague whose wife has better, some good dress and ornaments to wear. He was grieved. He was sad, but answered. But you see, this man is still trying to make his wife happy, okay? And we'll see how he's trying to do that. Let us see, Matilda. How much would a suitable costume cost? Something that would serve for other occasions, something very simple. Now see, this man always talks about simple things, isn't it? Here also he's talking about a simple dress. He's saying that, okay, let us do something, Matilda. Let us work out. Don't be sad, please. I mean, he's trying to convince his wife. He's saying that, no, okay, fine. How much it would cost to buy a simple dress, something that you can also wear in some other occasion, something very simple and very sober, something elegant. She reflected for some seconds. She thought in her mind for some seconds, thinking of a sum that she would ask for without bringing with it an immediate refusal and a frightened exclamation from the economical clerk. See the beautiful use of language, how the writers are using the language, okay? So what is he saying? What is she doing here? She is reflecting, she for some moment she is thinking it in her mind that let me ask for some amount of money that will that will not scare this man, and also that, and he won't refuse me. If she asks for a huge amount, then definitely the economical clerk, economical she is thinking that he is economical clerk, but he is not economical clerk, he is not a stingy clerk, but the fact is that he doesn't have money, isn't it? From where will he give money if he doesn't have? But for her, he thinks that he is an economical clerk. Okay. So she started calculating it in her mind. So you can see that she is very calculative also, isn't it? So she started, because Matilda's character is very important, students. Okay, Matilda's character is very important as much as Hari Singh's character. Okay, so you can expect a question, although I think this question came this year, but still you can expect a question from this chapter. So you see here, so we can see that she is very calculative also, isn't it? Because she has started quickly calculating in her mind, reflecting, about what amount of money she should ask for, because she wanted to ask an amount of money which will not scare or frighten her husband, and he would not immediately refuse that. Finally, she said in a hesitating voice, "I cannot tell exactly, but it seems to me that 400 francs ought to cover it." So what is she saying here? That I don't know exactly, but maybe if you give me 400 francs, then I think I can manage to get one dress. Now francs is it's an unit of currency in France. Okay, francs. So she asks for 400 francs. Now he turned a little pale. The husband turned a little pale. Okay, little sad. Not much, but a little pale. Little pale means what? Colorless, you can say, or having no charm here. It means that having no charm, okay? Or you can say becoming sad. For he had definitely saved some amount of money. Why? Because he wanted to buy a gun. It was his hobby to go for hunting, okay? So he was saving some money to buy a gun, that he might be able to join some hunting parties in next summer with some friends who went to shoot larks. Larks are some kind of birds, okay, on Sunday. So he was saving some money so that he could buy a gun to go for hunting along with his friends next summer, okay. But nevertheless, in spite of that, nevertheless means in spite of that, he answered, "Very well, I will give you 400 francs, but try to have a pretty dress." Now here we can see Mr. Loisel's character is also important, okay. So now here we can see that Mr. Loisel is a sacrificing man, isn't it? He sacrificed. See, he also has his own desire, isn't it? Desire to go for hunting with his friends. But he kept Matilda's desire above his own desire, okay. And he said, "Okay, fine, I will give you 400 francs and try to have a beautiful dress for the party." Now you can see here, students, please read and find out. In this part we will see what fresh problem now disturbs Madame Loisel. Now he got the money, she can now procure a dress, but then still she is not satisfied. We will find why she is not satisfied, okay. The day of the ball approached. Ball means the party approached, came nearer. Approached means came nearer, and Madame Loisel still seemed sad. She was still not happy, okay. She has already purchased a gown for herself, but she is still sad, disturbed, and also anxious, okay. Nevertheless, in spite of the fact her dress was nearly ready, okay, her husband said to her one evening, "What is the matter with you, darling? You have acted strangely for 2-3 days. I mean, you have a dress now, it is nearly ready. Might be she had given it for stitching. So what is still disturbing you? What is still bothering you?" And she responded, "I am vexed not to have a jewel, nothing to adorn myself with. I shall have such a poverty-stricken look. I would prefer not to go to this party." Now here you see, once again, she is creating a fresh problem for herself as well as for her husband. What is she saying? Now she has problem with the fact that she doesn't have a jewel. She has no ornament to wear. Okay, I am vexed, I am disturbed. Why? Because I don't have a jewel. Nothing to adorn myself, nothing to beautify myself with, okay. So I shall have such a poverty-stricken look. When I go there, I will look so out of the place. I will look so poverty-stricken, okay. Every time she is complaining about her present state, she is not happy. She is not able to give recognition to her most precious jewel, which was her husband, isn't it? So here she is once again complaining. She is saying that I will give such a poverty-stricken look there. Amongst all the beautiful ladies who will come with such nice ornaments. I would rather prefer not to go to this party. He replied, You can wear some natural flowers in this season. They look very chic. The chic means fashionable, okay? So you can wear some natural flowers, isn't it? Now once again, you can see here, students. Once again, he's talking about natural flowers. So we can see that this man is really a very simple. You are going to use this as examples in your answer, okay? So please underline these lines. If you are supposed to write about the character of Mr. Loisel, you are going to use these lines as example to justify why you think that he was a simple man. So now once again he's talking about what? He's talking about some natural flowers. In this season, they look very chic and you will look very fashionable, because if you adorn yourself with natural flowers, okay, because with natural flowers it really looks when you put it on your bun in your head and maybe even in your neck, isn't it? But she was not supposed to be convinced. No, she replied. But she was not convinced. She always looked for artificial beauty, okay? Not the natural ones. There is nothing more humiliating than to have a shabby year in the midst of rich women, okay? No, she said. Very vehemently, okay? Very, very strongly she said that no. This is really very insulting. Humiliating means insulting. To have such a shabby look in the midst of, among all the rich women who will come to this party, okay? And then her husband cried out, "How stupid we are. Go and find your friend, Madame Forestier, and ask her to lend you her jewels." Now this husband had no other option but to tell her, because now he knew that he has no money to offer her to buy ornaments, because the ornaments are very costly, isn't it? Jewelry are very costly. So he suggested, okay, fine, although he might not be wanting this inside, but still, now here in this line we can see that a husband is actually sacrificing his image also, isn't it? His self-esteem, because he's asking his wife, okay, fine, then you do one thing. If ornaments make you happy, then you can go and you can borrow it from your friend, Madame Forrester. You think any husband would eagerly ask his wife to go and get something from a rich woman? Definitely not. So here also the husband is sacrificing somewhere, sacrificing his image. He is not able to buy a necklace or whatever ornament for his wife. Okay, so when she goes to Madame Forrester, definitely Madame Forrester will think that her husband is not rich enough to buy her ornaments. So in a way, the husband thought of damaging his own worth, isn't it, in front of Madame Forrester. So, but still, he said, "How stupid we are. So please go and find your friend Madame Forrester and tell her to lend you some jewels." She uttered a cry of joy. Now you can see once again, students, she is so overjoyed. She is not thinking about the fact that going and asking the jewels from her friend is going to belittle not only herself but also her husband, isn't it? She is belittling not only herself but also her husband. She's ready to give away her self-esteem also, only because of some artificial jewelry. "It is true," she said. "I had not thought of that." The next day, so she was overjoyed about the suggestion given by her husband. But I'm sure that husband was not happy inside, isn't it? So no man will be happy with this kind of a decision. The next day, she took herself to her friend's house and related her story of distress. Now, next morning, she went to her friend's house and told her about her story of her life, about her distress, about her circumstances, about her situation, and how unhappy she was. Madame Forrester went to her closet, took out a large jewel case, brought it, opened it, and said, "Choose, my dear." Okay, now here Madame Forrester, she goes to her closet. Closet means almirah or wardrobe, whatever. She took out a large jewel case and she opened it in front of her and said, "You can choose anything you want from here." She saw at first some bracelets. She was now surprised, astonished, okay, to see so many jewelry all together. So she at first saw some bracelets, then a collar of pearls, then a Venetian cross of gold and jewels. These are all different kinds of ornaments she is checking out, and jewels of admirable workmanship. Okay, some very beautiful jewelry of beautiful craftsmanship. She was going through all this. She tried the jewels before the glass, hesitated but could neither decide to take them or not leave them. She was not able to decide which one to take and which one not to take. Then she asked, "Have you nothing more?" So once again here you can see, students, in spite of the fact that she was given so many jewelry by her friends to select from, she's still asking for what? More. Have you nothing more? Once again, please underline this. You are going to use this in your answers, okay? This again shows that she was always dissatisfied, discontented. She always wanted more, okay? Why? Yes, look for yourself. I do not know what will please you, okay? So she brings, I mean, her friend brings more jewelry for her and tells, okay, you look for yourself, okay? I don't know which one is going to please you, but you can choose. Suddenly, she discovered in a black satin box a superb necklace of diamonds. Her hands trembled as she took it out. She placed it about her throat against her dress and was ecstatic. Then she asked in a hesitating voice, full of anxiety, "Could you lend me this? Only this?" Then suddenly she discovered in a black satin box. Satin is a kind of a fabric, a kind of a cloth, silky cloth. So what did she do? She discovered a very beautiful necklace made of diamonds, and her hands were shaking, trembling as she took it out because that necklace was very expensive. It was made of diamonds. Okay, diamonds are very expensive. She placed it on her neck, and she was ecstatic. That means she was so happy. Okay, to see herself with that necklace, and then she asked hesitatingly, with full of anxiety, because she is not sure whether her friend is going to give her that expensive diamond necklace or not. And then she asks with all her courage that, "Could you please lend me this? Only this?" "Why, yes, certainly." Okay, I will stop here, students. It's already 30 minutes.